The NBA playoffs are heating up, and Monday night's action delivered intense drama and unforgettable moments. In San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors managed to stave off a furious late-game push from the Houston Rockets, winning 109 to 106 to take a commanding 3-1 lead in their Western Conference first-round series. Meanwhile, across the country in Miami, the Cleveland Cavaliers dominated the Heat in a blowout, completing the sweep with a staggering 138 to 83 victory. Warriors fight to hold off Rockets' Green and Butler's heroic final minutes. In what could only be described as a playoff thriller, the Warriors battled to hold off the Rockets, but not without a few bumps along the way. The game was an emotional roller coaster, with both teams exchanging the lead 11 times throughout the contest. The game was a microcosm of this entire series, physical, intense, and full of emotion. And while this game had its fair share of drama, it was also business as usual for a Warriors squad that thrives in high-pressure moments. The night featured a familiar cast of characters. Draymond Green, the heart and soul of the Warriors' defense, found himself in foul trouble, forced to sit for more than a quarter after picking up 5 fouls and a technical foul. It was a critical moment, one that allowed Houston's young center, Alperen Sengun, to feast. Over the second half, Sengun took full advantage of Green's absence, torching the Warriors' defense to the tune of 31 points, keeping the Rockets within striking distance. Yet, when the clock was winding down and the game was on the line, Green returned to the floor, as if on cue. With less than 10 seconds remaining, Sengun, who had been a force all night, faced off with Green in an isolation play that would ultimately decide the outcome. Sengun attempted to back Green down and execute a hook shot, but Green stood his ground, forcing an off-balance contested attempt that clanked off the rim. But it wasn't just Green's defense that made the difference. It was Jimmy Butler, too. The banged-up Miami star, who had returned from a tailbone injury suffered earlier in the series, had been quiet through most of the game. But with the game in the balance, he came through in a big way. Butler, out of nowhere, sprinted in from the baseline corner to snag the crucial rebound after Green's defensive stop. With ice in his veins, Butler was fouled on the ensuing play and stepped to the free throw line, sinking both free throws to give the Warriors a 4-point cushion. A whistle with 58 seconds left added even more drama to the already intense contest. Butler, trapped in the left corner with the shot clock winding down, had no choice but to hoist up a contested three-pointer. As he elevated for the shot, Rockets forward Dillon Brooks made a dangerous move, sliding under Butler and committing a foul in the process. The referees had no choice but to call a shooting foul, gifting Butler 3 free throws. Butler drained all 3, effectively sealing the win for the Warriors. With the Warriors' 109 to 106 victory, they now hold a 3-1 series lead and are just 1 win away from advancing to the next round. The Warriors will now head to Houston for Game 5, where they'll have 3 opportunities to close out the series, with Game 5 taking place on the Rockets' home court. The last time the Warriors found themselves in this position, in their most recent championship run, they struggled in a similar spot, Game 5 on the road, with a chance to eliminate a desperate opponent. But with the likes of Green and Butler stepping up when it matters most, this team looks poised to take control and end the series in Houston. Cavs, complete historic sweep. Miami's nightmare playoffs continue. While the Warriors and Rockets were battling in a dramatic thriller, the Cleveland Cavaliers were in the midst of making history, albeit in a way the Miami Heat will want to forget. The Cavaliers capped off their dominant performance in Game 4 with a resounding 138 to 83 victory, completing a historic sweep over the Heat. The Cavs' 55-point win wasn't just impressive, it was one of the most lopsided playoff victories in NBA history. From the moment the game tipped off, Cleveland made it clear they were in control. The Cavs blitzed the Heat with an offensive onslaught, taking a commanding 72 to 33 lead into halftime. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare for Miami, as the Heat looked shell-shocked and unable to stop the red-hot Cavaliers. Cleveland shot an astounding 54.7% from the field, while Miami could barely manage 36%. In a game where every shot seemed to fall for the Cavs, the Heat were left scrambling for answers. And it wasn't just Cleveland's offense that overwhelmed the Heat. Their defense was suffocating as well. Miami simply had no answer for the Cavaliers' depth and precision. At one point, Cleveland held a 60-point lead, showing no mercy in what would ultimately be a record-setting playoff drubbing. The game,